New at 11.
Bullets fly in an East Charlotte neighborhood.
I'm finding out if this new shooting will derail the efforts to revitalize the Belmont neighborhood.
Inside CMPD's Operations Center, keeping an eye on Speed Street.
The technology police are using inside this room to prevent violence before it happens.
A bear scare in the Carolinas.
There's a bear in the movie theater.
Where police are warning a wild animal is now on the loose.
The rain is history. Now I'm tracking a perfect holiday weekend.
This WBTV high-definition program is sponsored by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas. WBTV News at 11 starts right now.
3 people shot, they're in the hospital. And tonight, nearly 7 hours after the drive-by that put them there, police are still searching for the person who pulled the trigger. Hello and welcome. I'm Paul Cameron. Molly Grantham has this night off. The shooting happened this afternoon in the city's Belmont neighborhood. It's between Uptown and Noda near Plaza Midwood. For years, people here have been battling back against crime. All new at 11 o'clock. Dedrick Russell is finding out if this latest violence has derailed their goals. Dedrick?
Well, Paul, I just spoke with Police Chief Rodney Monroe about this case, and he offers a possible motive of the shooting. He says it was either domestic or it could have been retaliation from an earlier shooting that happened today. So while police try to solve this case, Belmont neighbors tell me their community will continue to bounce back. Just across the street from where the shooting happened, there are signs the Belmont community is rebuilding itself. The transformation was a long time coming, though. Cecilia Matos has lived in this neighborhood for nearly 20 years. Back then,
drugs everywhere.
Also,
children cannot play outside.
But now she says police are visible and her neighbors are taking charge of their community. She believes this latest shooting will not stop the progress.
Things like that happen even in the better neighborhoods, nowadays.
She also thinks this crime will make her neighborhood stronger. Police agree. They also don't think their work will be erased by this drive-by.
This is kind of unusual. We haven't had a shooting in the neighborhood in a while, so it was kind of unexpected for us.
While Matos said officers are optimistic, Jennifer Anderson, who lives across the street from the crime scene, heard the gunshots and saw the victims, has a different story about crime on her block.
There's always something going on around here.
She's lived here for 3 years and is ready to move. She just can't afford to do so right now.
We'll go as soon as we can.
So while she waits, she will continue to look out for her neighbors and support them every time crime erupts in the community.
The people who live here are good people, and they deserve better.
Neighbors also think the shooter deserves better, too. They want them to pay for their crime, but also want to help them rebuild their lives.
Maybe offer them jobs. Maybe offer them some kind of program that can help them better than selling drugs or shooting each other.
Now, police think their efforts are going well as well. They also tell me that they believe that they have formed some good relationships in the Belmont neighborhood, and they tell me it will just be a matter of time before someone comes forward with some information that will lead to an arrest. Live at CMPD headquarters, Dedrick Russell, WBTV, on your side.
All right, Dedrick, thank you. Now, my Crime Stoppers report focused on this same store just last month. This exclusive video shows 2 men robbing the business in early April. They had guns, they took wallets, cigarettes, an iPad, and $1,000 in cash. These men have not been captured. Just in at 11 o'clock, brand new video shows the Interstate 5 bridge collapse in Washington State as it happened. See it? It's in still frame mode. A surveillance camera nearby. Watch as an 18-wheeler crosses over. It strikes the supports. And moments later, there it goes. As soon as the traffic hits the span, it plunges to the water below. Now, amazingly, no one was killed. 3 people had to be rescued. This all happened about 24 hours ago in Mount Vernon, Washington. We had it live, breaking news last night at 11 o'clock. It's brought new attention to the state of our infrastructure. We've investigated today and uncovered a disturbing number of dangerous bridges here in North Carolina. The results of our investigation ahead in just 5 minutes. Right now, new at 11, SWAT officers in California open fire on a suspected robber, and this is all caught on camera. Watch. The man came screeching out of a garage after holding a woman hostage in this home. The SWAT team had just rescued the woman when the man tried to make his getaway. That suspect died at the scene. Huge crowds at Food Lion Speed Street, and we just got some exclusive access to the command center CMPD is using to keep people safe this weekend. All new at 11 o'clock. Brigida Mack learned officers are using some advanced technology to scan this big crowd. Brigida?
That's right, Paul. You kind of have to. This is a huge event. 300,000 to 400,000 people expected in Uptown over 3 or 4 days. And CPD keeps an eye on things through dozens of cameras inside a room no one ever gets to see. Even the media's access is rare until tonight. Friday night and Food Lion Speed Street is already popping, even before dusk. The legendary crowds for the popular street festival means Charlotte-Mecklenburg police need a lot of eyes on the event, and not just on the ground. That's where this room comes in.
Just having extra eyes and ears, watching.
It's the command center, the nerve center for CMPD during events like this one. Police can pull up what's happening from dozens of cameras on these large screens. Deputy Chief Doug Gallant says it gives them a bird's eye view of things so they can act quickly if need be.
That's the key is seeing things early. Responding early and quickly and taking care of the problem before it becomes a bigger issue.
Issues like traffic backups, pedestrian flow, and a gridlock of people at one spot. While the event has historically been free of violence, Gallant says the command center is key to keeping it that way.
You don't get that quick communication, and that's the big part about it.
While some may see the cameras as intrusive, Della Faust is glad police are watching even if she can't see them.
I don't know why people would feel bad about that. There's cameras everywhere today anyway. Even when you don't know you're being watched, you're being watched.
Especially in light of what happened at the Boston Marathon last month.
When I was parking, like, should we really be doing this? That's why we skipped the stroller so we can just pick the baby up and run.
And it's not just CMPD folks inside that command center. They're also working with a number of their partners, including the FBI, the Charlotte Fire Department, the Sheriff's Office, and the Charlotte DOT. We're live in Uptown tonight. I'm Brigida Mack, WBTV on your side.
Hi, Brigida. Thank you. Now, if you're headed out to Speed Street this weekend, Katz is making it easier for you to get there. They've added extra cars to the light rail. They'll operate every 10 minutes. New information at 11 on the small plane crash at Charlotte Douglas International. We've now learned the pilot was treated and released from the hospital. The plane missed the runway this afternoon. There it sits. The FAA is investigating. From Sky 3, we saw emergency crews spraying foam to knock down any possible fire. Well, tonight we're hearing from the driver who hit a Huff High School student before school this morning. The driver says he just didn't have time to react. He says he slammed on his brakes when he saw Mason Stewart crossing Davidson Concord Road on a skateboard, but it was too late.
I just hope he's okay. I was just coming up to this intersection here, and he come kicking out on his skateboard. I'm not even sure he even looked at me at all.
The young man was airlifted to Carolina's Medical Center. Police say there have been several similar accidents in that same area. New information at 11 o'clock on a murder investigation in Salisbury. Now, we first told you about this last night at 11. Tony Luther, accused of killing his girlfriend, Tasha West, at an apartment on Calhoun Street. Luther faced a judge today and was given a court-appointed attorney. The prosecution rested its case today against a man accused of killing a 2-year-old boy. Ellis Royster, charged with the shooting death of Amias Robinson in 2010. A witness testified today that Royster was actually shooting at him, but he missed on Eastbrook Road. Prosecutors believe a stray bullet from that shooting hit and killed the little boy. Royster's attorney will begin his defense on Tuesday. Now back to the interstate bridge collapse in Washington. It has sparked some new concerns about the safety of bridges here in Charlotte. We just showed you this surveillance video as a truck hit the bridge. Moments later, it's going to give way in one of these freeze frames, sending cars plunging to the river. Tonight, we've learned North Carolina has similar bridges that some consider substandard. With thousands on the road for a Memorial Day holiday, we're investigating. WBTV's Sarah Batista uncovered almost half the bridges in the state are listed in poor condition.
There's just a variety of different individual components of a bridge, and each one of them is looked at.
Garland Haywood is the bridge manager for the North Carolina Department of Transportation. It's his job to make sure bridges in our area are safe, secure, and inspected every 2 years.
You certainly could have something undermining a bridge that if you don't have these diligent inspections, you're not going to catch.
According to AAA, nearly 900,000 people across the state are expected to hit the roads for Memorial Day weekend, but most of us don't think twice about the bridges we drive near until we see accidents like this one yesterday in Washington. A truck carrying an oversized load slammed into a bridge, causing it to collapse. Luckily, no one was seriously hurt, but scenarios like these reinforce the need for bridge maintenance.
Anytime something like what happened in Washington happens, if there's something that we need to do we quickly realized that we need to at least go and check on that.
North Carolina maintains more than 13,000 bridges, and WBTV On Your Side uncovered while they're all considered safe, more than half are listed in poor condition or need to be updated to keep up with increased traffic. State officials say they're working on it. Over the past 2 years, they've invested more than $450 million to improve and replace 1,000 bridges. They want to avoid scenes like this one.
We're doing a really aggressive move towards that.
Sarah Batista, WBTV On Your Side.
Now, through this investigation, Sarah learned $22 million of that state funding will be used to repair bridges in the Charlotte region over the next 2 years. Now to the First Alert Weather Center. Eric Thomas tracking a near-perfect evening tonight, full moon tonight, but what's got my attention is how chilly it's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, Paul, in fact, we could be kicking off the weekend with a record low temperature, so that is certainly something to think about. We'll take you outside and show you. Paul mentioned that full moon. Oh, it is blazing tonight with that fresh air mass. Scott Clark's Toyota City WeatherNet, 62 degrees. That storm system, yeah, that's moving away. And we have disruptive weather, though, out to the west. It's well out to the west, so we'll let you know when to expect that. But get ready. If you're an early bird, temperatures in the mid-40s in the morning. More coming up in your First Alert forecast.
Well, Eric, you'll like this one. New at 11, a black bear like this one spotted near a movie theater. Panic guest called 911.
911 emergency, Fraser. How can I help you?
Hey, I was just going to let you know that there's a bear in the movie theater.
How big is it?
It's a big black bear.
Bear in the movie theater. Several calls into that 911 operator over the past 24 hours. People have spotted the black bear at least twice across Winston-Salem since last night. The first time the bear was in this backyard.
Then I looked out again and I went, oh, that's not a cat. That's not a raccoon. That's a big bear.
So the bear took off over this fence and then showed up at the movie theater today. Authorities are using the city's reverse 911 system to let people know that this bear is out on the loose and wonder if he likes popcorn. Next at 11, as the cleanup continues, new stories of hope and recovery from Oklahoma. And an emotional reunion you've just got to see. Plus, this weekend is the unofficial start to summer. Before you go outdoors, there's some important news about the sunscreen your family uses. You're watching WBTV, your choice for News at 11. We're back after this.